गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पतानः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Dear friends, we are in this Mundakopanishad, the first part of Mundakopanishad, the first part, second khanda, second sub-part, and in that we are reading the mantra, Bhashyam under the mantra 12, mantra number 12, that is Parikshya Lokan Karmachitan. So that is a very, very important mantra, very oft quoted mantra, very oft quoted mantra, because it is telling about the requirements for a guru, the qualities, what type of guru a student has to approach. This is a very important doubt which most of us get even now. What type of guru? When you want to study Vedanta, okay, if you want to just know it intellectually at an intellectual level, you can go to any professor. You can read Dr. Radhakrishnan, you can read some other book, or you can do any such thing. But if you want to practice, because Vedanta is about transforming oneself, Vedanta is at two levels. One is at the intellectual level, you know something. Then what you have known at the intellectual level, you have to practice and then transform. You have to change your vision. So that change of vision, change of perspective is what is needed. If that is the ultimate goal, change of perspective only gives you the knowledge of Brahman or the knowledge of self. Knowledge of Brahman and knowledge of self are one and the same, because Brahman is the self. So that experience can be got only under the guidance of a guru, only when there is a sort of discipline, self-discipline, and a regimen of self-discipline. So all that has to go on. So that is the context in which we are. And then this is the subject matter for Paravidya. Paravidya is something which enables you to attain the knowledge of Brahman or the knowledge of self, or become the Brahman, or become the self, know the self, know yourself as the Brahman. So for that, he has to, what is the primary, prerequisite? The prerequisite is that he has to examine what all is there in the world. What all is achievable by karma, what all is achievable by various rituals, various actions, and all that. And all the things which are achievable by karma are something which are ephemeral, totally evanescent, totally ephemeral, fleeting in nature. So that is where we are. We are reading the Bhashyam, and very long phrases of Bhashyam we were reading. Let us read the line. We were reading this line. Yesha vihitakarana pratishedha atikrama dosha sadhyaha. That is where we stopped. Let us read this. Yecha. You got this? Vihitakarana pratishedhatikrama dosha sadhyaha.
Vihitakarana pratishedhatikrama dosha sadhyaha.
Naraka tiriyak preta lakshanaha.
Naraka tiriyak preta lakshanaha.
Etan parikshya. Pratyakshanumanopamanagamaihi. Pratyaksha anumana upamana agamaihi. Okay, sarvato yathatmyena avadhariya. Lokan samsaragati bhutan. Okay, up to this point we will stop, because the sentence goes on and on. Okay, so yecha, so he has to examine all the lokas which can be achieved. So earlier he said that there are two types of lokas. One which are achievable with the Dakshina Marga, that is Pitruyana, and another type which are achievable in the Devayana. So when you follow that Devayana path, that is what is called a Krama Mukti, or a phased liberation, where a person goes there, stays in that Devaloka for some time, And along with that Brahman, along with that God or deity whom he is worshipping, he gets resolved into Brahman at the end of that cycle of creation. Whereas in this Pitruyana, they go to Swargaloka or some such loka for some time, they again come back, they may come back to earth, or they may take a much lower life. So that is a much lower type of thing. And then all the lokas, they are of two types. That is Devayana lokas and Pitruyana lokas. So that is what we saw. And then Yesha, and also those Vihita Akarana. That is something, that is a sin of omission. Something which has been prescribed, you are not doing. Pratishedha Atikrama. There is a prohibition, and you are violating that prohibition. That is sin of commission. You are doing something which is prohibited. So by that, we are getting some other lower lokas like Naraka, Tiryagadi Lakshanam. Tiryak, Preta Lakshanaha. That is, Naraka is hell. Then Tiryak is, being born as some animals, etc. Tiryak Jantu, I have explained that Tiryak Jantu, whose spine is parallel to the ground. Then Preta. Preta is something like ghosts and things like that. So Preta Lakshanaha. Then Yetan Parikshya, having examined all the lives of this type. These are all the achievements, isn't it? You do a karma, you achieve a thing. Achieve means you get the result. Some results are good, some results are bad. So all the results, if you evaluate, they fall under these categories. So that is it. Parikshya. How to do this pariksha? How to examine this? Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Agamaihi. So he is saying about all this Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means direct perception. So these are called Pramanas. Pratyaksha, Anumana, Agama. Pramana means, there is a technical, Pramana is a technical word in Tarka Shastra. Pramana means means of valid knowledge. Any means of valid knowledge is called a Pramana. My eye is a Pramana for what I see. My ear is a Pramana for what I hear. Pramana means it is a means for valid knowledge. It gives me valid knowledge. That is something which is irrefutable. I hear something, so that knowledge is very much real. It is there imprinted in my mind. So that is something which is real. Real means at a relative level. Then what I see something, and that is something which is there. So that is Pratyaksha. And even by this Pratyaksha is direct perception. Then Anumana means inference. Suppose I see some smoke somewhere, and then naturally the inference is that there is some fire. Without fire there cannot be any smoke. Then Upamana is a comparison. You see some cow in a particular village, and then you go to the forest and you see some similar, say, bovine creature in the forest. Oh, this is the same species, you find. Otherwise you find one dog, you see a dog in a village, and then you go to the jungle and see some jungle dog. So you immediately see it is a dog. So like that is Upamana. That is comparison. Upamana is comparison. Then Agama. Agama means the text. The text means the scripture, Veda. Veda is again an authority. Because for those things which are beyond the scope of Pratyaksha and Anumana, the Shruti or the scripture is the only authority. So these are the things. So you have to examine all these lokas, say, with these pramanas, with these means of valid knowledge, and then see whether they fit into, whether they can be called real or whether they can be called unreal. So Parikshya, Pratyakshanumana, Upamana, Agamaihi, Sarvataha Yathatmyena Avadharya. Sarvataha means all these things, all around, Sarvataha, in all ways. Yathatmyena, that is their real nature, Yatha Atma, that is Yathatmyam, just as they are. Yathatma is, their Atma is there, that is just their nature. Avadharya means having understood properly, Avadharya. Then Lokan Samsara Gati Bhutan. All these lokas are Samsara Gati Bhutan. They are of the nature of Samsara Gati. They have got existence in this Samsara only. Samsara Gati means all the things they are related to this cycle of Samsara. They don't contribute to your breaking away from this wheel of Samsara. So that is it. Then let us read. Avyaktaadi sthavaranthan
ಅವ್ಯಕ್ತಾದಿ ಸ್ಥಾವರಾಂತಾನ್
Vyakruta Avyakruta Lakshanan
ವ್ಯಾಕೃತ ಅವ್ಯಾಕೃತ ಲಕ್ಷಣಾನ್
Bijankuravad Itaretarotpatti Nimittan
ಬೀಜಾಂಕುರವತ್ ಇತರೇತರೋತ್ಪತ್ತಿ ನಿಮಿತ್ತಾನ್
Anekanartha Shatasahasra Sankulan
ಅನೇಕಾನರ್ಥ ಶತಸಹಸ್ರ ಸಂಕುಲಾನ್
Kadaligarbhavad Asaran
ಕದಳಿ ಗರ್ಭವದಸಾರಾನ್
Maya Marich Yudaka Gandharva Nagarakara
ಮಾಯಾಮರೀಚ್ಯುತಕ ಗಂಧರ್ವ ನಗರಾಕಾರ
Swapna Jala Budbuda Phena Saman
ಸ್ವಪ್ನ ಜಲ ಬುದ್ಭುತ ಫೇನ ಸಮಾನ್
Pratikshana Pradvamsan
ಪ್ರತಿಕ್ಷಣ ಪ್ರಧ್ವಂಸಾನ್
Prushtatah Krutva
ಪೃಷ್ಠತಃ ಕೃತ್ವಾ
Avidya Kama Dosha Pravartita Karmachitan
ಅವಿದ್ಯಾ ಕಾಮ ದೋಷ ಪ್ರವರ್ತಿತ ಕರ್ಮಚಿತಾನ್
Dharma Dharma Nirvartitan Ityetad
ಧರ್ಮಾಧರ್ಮ ನಿರ್ವರ್ತಿತಾನ್
Ityetat. Full stop. You put a stop there. So there, what are the then again, how are these things manifest? All these lokas, how are they seen or how are they manifest? Avyaktadi sthavarantam. That is starting from avyakta. Starting from that avyakta, that is that primordial say thing called avyakta. From that Maya, the first emergence is that avyakta, and in that from that avyakta is the Hiranyagarbha, isn't it? Starting from that avyakta right up to down to a blade of grass. Sthavarantan. Sthavaram is something that is that which is stationary, that which is not moving. All the rocks, hills, trees, etc., etc., they are all the sthavaras. So starting from Hiranyagarbha down to this, so all these things, what are they? Vyakruta, Avyakruta Lakshanan. They fall into two categories there. Some are Vyakruta, some are Avyakruta. Even among the Panchabhutas we have seen, Vyakruta is something which are seen by the senses. Avyakruta, they are not seen by the senses. Prithvi, Apaha, Tejaha, they are seen. Vayu and Akasha are Avyakruta, unseen. So in that particular context only, they are Avyakruta. Otherwise Avyakruta means a different meaning. So Avyakruta Lakshanan. Then Bijankuravat Itaretarotpatti Nimittan. Like a seed and a sprout. Bija and a Ankura. Bija is a seed, Ankura is a sprout. Bijankuravad Itaretara Utpatti Nimittan. So they are the cause for say the birth or origin of many other things. One forms the other, from that comes another, from that comes another. So like the Bijankura, it goes on and on and on. Itaretara. Itaretara means another and another. Itara means another. Itara. That is another and another. Utpatti. Utpatti means origin. So they are the cause for origin of another and another and yet another say thing. Nimitta Bhutan. Aneka Anartha Shatasahasra Sankulan. That is, all these, they are all fraught with so many defects. All these things are Aneka Anartha. Aneka means many. Anartha. Anartha means something which is unwanted. Artha means wanted, something which is wanted, some goal. Anartha means something which is unwanted. Anartha, that means something which is evil, something which is bad. That is it. Aneka Anartha Shatasahasra, hundreds of thousands. Sankulan. So it is fraught with a multitude of defects. It is fraught with a multitude of problems, multitude of evils, multitude of unwanted things. All these worlds, they are having their own defects. Each world is, all the worlds, they are having their own defects, their own limitations. So that is the meaning. Sahasra Sankulan. Then Kadali Garbhavad Asaran. This metaphor we got in, what is this? Kathopanishad also. Kadali Garbha. Kadali means a plantain. The plantain, you take the plantain tree, if you want to call it a tree, you take that plantain trunk and then you cut it and then you just peel off, just keep on peeling off. You keep on peeling off, the peel comes out and out and out. So you keep on peeling it off. Ultimately nothing remains. So that means there is nothing substantial inside. There is nothing substantial inside. The whole thing is a peel. You just take out the peel, you take out one layer, another layer comes. Like an onion also. Onion also is the same. So you take out and then everything comes out. So like that onion peel. So anyway, onion probably was not known in those days. We do not know. Onion is said to be something which has come from some other country. It has either come from Africa or the Europeans brought it. We do not know. Or maybe it might have been there because there is a prohibition. There is a prohibition not to eat Lashunam. So probably it was there. Anyway, I am not sure. So anyway, this example given is Kadali Garbha. Kadali is the banana or the plantain. Plantain's say trunk. So you keep on peeling it off, it just peels off, ultimately nothing remains. So it is asara. Asara means lacking in substance. Saram is substance, essence. Asaram is lacking in any essence. Kadali Garbhavad asaran. Then Maya Marichyudaka Gandharva Nagarakara. Maya Marichi. Marichi is a mirage. Marichi and mirage also appear to be cognate words, we do not know. Maya Marichi. It is a false thing. Marichi. Maya here in the sense of something which is false. It's just appearing, it is not there. Marichi is mirage. Mirage Udaka. That is Marich Udaka. That is the water in the mirage. That is the false water in the mirage. Maya Marich Udaka means the false water in the mirage. So that is it. Udaka, Gandharva Nagarakara, Gandharva Nagara. Sometime in the evening you see say the clouds, red clouds, and then they look as though there is a city in that sky, a beautiful city in that sky. So you call it a Gandharva Nagara. So Agarakara. Then Swapna, like a dream. Then Jala, Budbuda, like water. Jala, Budbuda. Budbuda means a Buddha, that is a bubble. Budbuda and bubble. Jala Budbuda. So water bubble. Jala Budbuda is water bubble. Then Pena. Pena means a foam. Just a foam. You see, you go to the river or ocean, you find a lot of foam. Or even when you say boil milk, you get a lot of foam, isn't it? So that is what is foam. Or when you take a nice coffee with milk, say that there can be a foam on that. There will be a lot of foam. So that is Pena. Then Pena Saman, they are equal to that. Then Pratikshana Pradvamsan, they are decaying every minute. Every second they are decaying. Every second they are Vidvamsa. Not as though they get destroyed, that the process of destruction is there on. Because anything which is born, it has a particular life. And then every moment, every minute, there is a decay in us, there is a decay in you, there is a decay in me, there is a decay in everything. So, Pradvamsan, Prushtata Krutva, keeping them behind. Prushtata Krutva, having kept them behind. Prushtata, Prushta means back. Prushtata Krutva ante put it behind. Prushtata Krutva. Avidya Kama Dosha Pravartita Karma Chitan. All these things, they are all things which are achieved by Karma Chitan. Karma Chita, you know this word. Karma Chita means something which has been achieved by the karma. And what type of karma? Avidya Kama Dosha Pravartita. That is something pravartita. Pravartita means activated. Pravartita, pravartana. Pravartana means getting into action. Pravartita means activated by. Activated by what? Avidya, Kama, Dosha. The defects such as avidya, all this karma is activated by our defect called avidya and kama. That is ignorance and desire. And because by that thing you have done a karma and you have earned some lokas. And then dharma nirvartitan ityetat. So altogether the whole entire meaning is dharma adharma nirvartitan. So every man who comes into the world, he performs some dharma, some adharma at different points. Even a man like Dharmaraja, he also said Ashwathama Hatah Kunjaraha. So dharma is the embodiment of dharma. He also said, he told a small lie. So Ashwathama Hatah Kunjaraha. So something like that. Dharma, adharma, nirvartitan. All these things which are achieved by acts of dharma and adharma. So we are all mixture of dharma and adharma. And because of that, we get some good lokas, some bad lokas, etc. Then, ityetat. So that is the overall meaning. Then here, Brahmano Nirvedamayat. That particular word is now being explained. Brahmanas. Okay. Why Brahmin alone? So that is the meaning. Brahmanasyaiva visheshato adhikaraha.
Brahmanasyaiva visheshato adhikaraha.
Sarvatyagena brahmavidyayam iti.
Sarvatyagena brahmavidyayam iti.
Brahmana grahanam.
Brahmana sangrahanam.
Sangrahanam, it doesn't matter. Brahmana sangrahanam means the mention of this name Brahmana. Grahana means taking. Mention of this name Brahmana is for what? Brahmanasyaiva visheshataha adhikaraha. Exclusively, not exclusively, visheshataha, specifically. Specifically it has been told to a Brahmin. What? Sarvatyagena brahmavidya. So you have to give up everything, you have to take up sannyasa, and then you have to undergo this Brahma Vidya. You have to achieve this Brahma Vidya. You have to give up everything and gain knowledge. So you see, this is the strict code for Brahmin. Other people may or may not. It is not so specific to others. It is not very specifically told to others. But it has been specifically told to Brahmins that he has to necessarily take up sannyasa and he has to necessarily acquire knowledge. Knowledge means this Brahma Vidya. So that is what has been prescribed. In fact, in this notes explains Visheshata iti Brahmanasyeva, why Brahmana only. There is a scriptural line, Brahmanaha putraishanayascha vitaishanayascha lokaishanayascha vyuthaya. This line we have come across in earlier bhashyams also. That is, there is one Yeshana Trayam, Putraishana, Vitteshana and Lokeshana. Yeshana means desire. Yeshana, wish. Yeshana. What is that? Putraishana. Oh, I have to have my children, I have to propagate, populate this world, etc. That is one. Then Vittaishana, I have to acquire more and more money. Then Lokaishana, I have to do some punyam, I have to acquire this loka, that loka. So this Yeshana Trayam is very characteristic of all human beings. So from Tebhyaha, Vyuthaya. Vyuthaya means to rise above. You have to rise above all these things. So that is what it says. So it was particularly mentioned for Brahmin. Brahmana, Vyuthaya. So this prescription is specifically emphasized for a Brahmin. It is specified, emphasized for a Brahmin. For all others, it is okay. If they do or not, it doesn't matter. So that is it. Then Parikshya Lokan Kim Kuryadityuchyate.
Parikshya Lokan Kim Kuryadityuchyate.
Nirvedam Nihpurvo Vidihi Atra Vairagyarthe.
Nirvedam Nishpurvo Vidihi Atra Vairagyarthe.
Vairagyam Ayat Kuryad Ityetat.
Vairagyam Ayat Kuryad Ityetat.
Okay, the word Nirvedam is being explained. Parikshya Lokan Kim Kuryad. Having examined, what will he do? Suppose you know that something is bad. Then what will you do? Will you keep on pursuing it? No, you will abandon it. So that is what it is. So you will have to abandon it. You will have to leave it. Nirvedaha. Nihi plus vid becomes nirveda. Nihi, that is ni plus visarga. Nihi is that upasarga. Nih purva vid. Vid is a dhatu. Vid dhatu means seeing, to know, either seeing or knowing. Vid means either to see or know. Nirveda, that is this nihpurva vid dhatu, vairagyarthe. When this upasarga is added, the meaning changes, isn't it? So it means dispassion. You just look at it, but you don't bother for it. That is dispassion. You are not worried about it, you don't bother for it. Dispassion, vairagyarthe. Then vairagyam ayat, vairagyam kuryat. That is, he has to necessarily attain that vairagya. He has to attain ayat. That there is a small effort also which is indicated in that word. He has to attain that vairagya with some effort. So vairagyam ayat ityetat. Then sa vairagya prakaraha pradarsyate. Let us read.
Sa vairagya prakaraha pradarsyate.
So that vairagya prakara, that method of vairagyam, what is the method of that vairagya? What is the procedure in that vairagya? So that is being explained. Iha samsare Nasti kaschidapi akrutah padarthaha.
Nasti kaschidap yakrutah padarthaha.
Sarva eva hi lokaha karmachitaha.
Sarva eva hi lokaha karmachitaha.
Karma krutatvacha anityaha.
Karma krutatvacha anityaha.
Na nityam kinchidasti ityabhiprayaha.
Na nityam kinchidasti ityabhiprayaha.
Sarvam tu karma anityasya sadhanam.
Sarvam tu karma anityasya sadhanam.
So he has to contemplate on these points. So he has to see what is the reality of this loka. This loka is there for some time. You perform some karma and then go to some swarga. And that swarga is in proportion, the tenure in that swarga is in proportion to the punyam you have done. Or you do some other thing and then you go to some other loka. That again, that is in proportion to the punya you have done. Then again you have to come back. Then again you have to do this dharma, acharana. So having examined all that, iha samsare, in this world, samsara not necessarily means world. Samsara means this transmigrating cycle. Samsaranam means this transmigration. We have to coin some beautiful word for this word samsara. Samsara, samyak saranam. That is, That is a continuous movement in that cycle. Samsara. Samsare. Nasti kaschidapi akrutaha padarthaha. There is nothing which is there which is nityam. Akrutaha. Akruta means something which is a karyam. Kruta. Kruta means something which is a karyam. Akrutaha means something which is a karanam, which is not a karyam of anything. So everything you see in this world is a karyam. So you see, you do some punya, you do some karma, and then you achieve something. So that is a karyam. It is something which has been achieved. You look at something else, that is a karyam. You look at anything in this world, any loka or any experience, it is something which is a karyam. There is no karanam as such. The ultimate karanam is Brahman only. Brahman is the ultimate karanam for all these things. So all these things are kruta padarthaha eva, na akruta padarthaha. So that means all are kruta only, all are karyam only. There is nothing, and all the karyam is something. Karyam is something which is nasyam, isn't it? Yeah. Karyam means it is going to get resolved into the karanam. Any karyam is something which is going to die, going to disappear after some time. So that is it. Sarva eva hi lokaha karmachitaha. All these lokas are achieved by karma. Then karma krutatvacha anityaha. Because they are all achieved by karma, they are all anitya. They are all non-eternal, they are all temporary. Then na nityam kinchidasti. There is nothing which is eternal in all these things. That is the opinion. That is the overall meaning, abhiprayaha. Then sarvam tu karma anityasya eva sadhanam. So all this karma, or whatever you say, it is the sadhanam for anitya. It is the sadhanam for something which is non-eternal, something which is ephemeral. So anityasya karana sadhanam means whatever karma you do, it is the sadhanam for something which is anityam. Then yasmat chaturvidham eva hi sarvam karma karyam utpadyam apyam samskaryam vikaryam va
उत्पाद्यम आप्यम संस्कार्यम विकार्यम वा
न अतः परम कर्मणो विशेषोस्ति My book says visheshaha. Karmanah vishaya also is okay, no problem. So yasmat chaturvidham eva hi sarvam karma karyam. Karma karyam means something which is achieved by karma, something which is an effect of karma. What? Chaturvidham. It is of four types. It can be called, seen as four things, in four manner, in four ways. Chaturvidham eva hi sarvam karma karyam. What is that? Utpadyam. So whatever you achieve by karma is utpadyam. Utpadyam is something which is produced. Utpatti, you know. Yeah. Utpadyam. There is something which is produced, which was not there earlier and you have produced. Then apyam. Apyam means something which can be acquired. Apyam. It can be something, it is something which is acquired. Then samskaryam. Samskarana, you know. What is samskarana? To purify something. Samskara, you say. Samskara means something which is having some impurities. You remove the impurities, add some good things to that. Dosha apanayanam guna adhanam samskara. That is how they say. Dosha apanayanam. Some defects which are there, you remove the defects, and then you guna adhanam. You add some good qualities to that. That is what is samskara. So that is samskaryam. So anything you achieve is dosha apanayanam guna adhanam. Then vikaryam. Vikaryam means something which can be modified, something which undergoes some change. It undergoes some change. So anything you produce is something which is produced newly, something which can be acquired, something which can be modified, something which can be purified or embellished, something which is modified. Then natah param karmanah visheshosti. Beyond this, atah param means beyond this, karmanah na visheshaha asti. There is no distinction of any type for karma. There is no speciality. There is nothing very great. There is nothing very great, we say. There is nothing very great. There is no great speciality. There is no great distinction about whatever is achieved by karma. Then ahamcha nityena amrutena abhayena kutasthena achalena
nityena amrutena abhayena kutasthena achalena
dhruvena arthena arthi न तद विपरीतेन अहम नित्येन अर्थी. नित्येन अर्थी. So this is a typical usage in Sanskrit. Aham dhanena arthi. I suppose I say. I want money. The meaning is aham dhanena arthi. Arthi, dhanarthi. Arthi is a person who desires. Aham dhanena arthi means I am a desirer of dhanam. Aham vidyaya arthi. Suppose I say vidyaya arthi. I am a desirer of. Arthi means a desirer. I am a desirer of vidya. So like that. Ahamcha. This is a idiomatic expression. Ahamcha nityena. Aham nityena arthi. That is, I want this nityam, something which is eternal. Aham amrutena arthi. Something which is amrutam. Amruta also is something which is immortal. Something which is immortal. Abhayena. So abhaya, when is abhaya possible? Abhaya is possible when you identify yourself with the infinity. When you identify yourself with a small thing, there cannot be abhaya. So abhayena. Then kutasthena. Kutastha, something which is unchanged. Kutastha, we have seen this word earlier. Kutasthena. Yeah, kuta is the ironsmith's anvil. So you put a rod or anything on that anvil and then you hammer it. Only the thing undergoes change, but not the anvil as such. So that is kutastha. So unchanging. Achalena. Achalena means something which is unmoving. Dhruva. Dhruva means which is firm, which is absolute. Firm, which is absolute. With that thing, I am arthi. Means I am a desirer of such a thing. So that means I desire such thing. I am not in pursuit of something which is ephemeral. I am not in pursuit of something which is going to fade away. Na tad viparitena. Na tad viparitena means not something which is contrary to this. Contrary to this means something which is changing. Then aham hi krutena karmana. Ataha kim krutena karmana.
Ataha kim krutena karmana.
Ayasa bahulena.
Ayasa bahulena.
Anartha sadhanena.
Anartha sadhanena.
Ityevam. Nirvinnaha abhayam shivam akrutam nityam padam yat.
Nirvinnaha abhayam shivam akrutam nityam padam yat.
Tad vijnanartham visheshena adhigamartham.
Tad vijnanartham visheshena abhigamartham.
Adhigamartham.
Abhigamartham.
Your book says abhigama.
Abhigama. Adhigama.
It should be adhigama. Adhigama. Attain. Adhigamartham. Sa nirvinno brahmano gurumeva acharyam.
Sa nirvinno brahmanaha gurumeva acharyam.
Shama dama dayadi sampannam abhigachet.
Shama damadi sampannam abhigachet.
Okay. So ataha kim krutena. Nasti akrutah krutena, he said. Akrutah krutena nasti. So this krutam means again karma. So krutena means karmana. What is kim karmana? What have I to do with karma? I have nothing to do with karma. So that is it. That's what it means. I have nothing to do with this karma. What is this? Ayasa bahulena. You have to do a lot of ayasa. Ayasa means a lot of strain, lot of effort. Then anartha sadhanena, and then this can only attain some anartha, something which is trivial, which is not very great. Anartha sadhanena. Ityevam nirvinnaha. Nirvinna means some nirveda we have seen. Nirveda is dispassion, detachment. Nirvinna is somebody who has that dispassion. Somebody who is detached. Nirvinna. Nirveda, from that word nirvinna comes. Nirveda means dispassion, detachment. Nirvinna is detached. So nirvinna bhutva, that is what it means. Having become detached. Then abhayam shivam akrutam nityam yat. So that which is abhayam, that which is abhaya, nitya, all these words we know. Shiva means something which is auspicious, mangalakaram. Nityam padam yat. Tad vijnanartham. In order to know that, in order to experience it, vijnana, you see, vijnana means not merely intellectually knowing. Vijnana is to experience. Jnana vijnana sahitam we have seen in Gita Bhashya. Jnana means to know it at an intellectual level. There in that context. Vijnana is to experience it. Here also it is explained, it is used in the same way. Visheshena adhigamartham. You have to know it completely. Visheshena. You have to know it completely with all its say attributes, with all its say without any doubt. You have to understand it. Adhigamartham. Sa nirvinnaha brahmanaha. That person, that particular brahmana who is a nirvinna, somebody who is totally detached. Gurumeva acharyam, Gurumeva abhigachet, isn't it? Guru, he has to necessarily go to a Guru. Gurumeva, he has to go to a Guru only, that's it. And what type of Guru? Shama, Dama, Dayadi Sampannam abhigachet. You should have, that Guru also should have Shama, Dama, we know these words already. Daya, some new word also is there. Daya is compassion. So the teacher should not be a very cruel fellow or a sort of what we can call a sadist or something like that. He should not be willing to torture the student. Any knowledgeable, any Brahmavit, he can never be Daya Rahita. Somebody, a person who knows Brahman or who has realized Brahman, he cannot be somebody who is devoid of compassion. So he is full of compassion. So in other words, a person who is having Shama, Dama, Daya, Adi Sampannam. So Sampannam is who is endowed with, who is endowed with all these things. Abhigachet. This student has to go. Then, what is the overall indication he is saying? Shastrajñopi Swatantriyena Brahmajnananveshanam na kuryad. Brahmajnananveshanam na kuryad. Ityetat Gurumeva ityavadharana phalam. So Gurum eva iti avadharana. Eva, the word eva is avadharanarthe. Emphasis, to emphasize something. Gurumeva abhigachet. Or otherwise abhigachet eva. He has to jolly well go. Why is that emphasis? That is, emphasis means Shastrajñopi. Even if one is a Shastrajña, even if he has read all these Vedas, even if he has thoroughly understood the meaning of the Vedas at an intellectual level, even such a person, Swatantriyena Brahmajnananveshanam na kuryad. He should not independently start practicing, because he is not sure as to where this his Shama Dama, whether he has attained this Shama Dama or not. He cannot know. The Guru is like a barometer. The Guru is somewhat like a barometer who knows or who can estimate the level of maturity of a student. Otherwise, he knows whether this fellow is overcoming this Shama, he is overcoming all these ahimsa, asatyam, this parigraha, all these defects. Whether he is attaining this Shama, Dama, etc. Only the teacher can monitor. So the teacher is somebody who is like monitoring this man's emotional growth or adhyatmika, the spiritual growth. Swatantriyena Brahmajnananveshanam na kuryat. One should not independently take up this. Ityetatu Gurumeva iti avadharana phalam. Then how should he go to a Guru? He is being explained. Samitpanihi Samidbhara Gruhita Hastaha Shrotriyam Adhyayana Shrutartha Sampannam Brahmanishtham Hitva Sarvakarmani Kevale Advaye Brahmani Nishtha Yasya Soyam Brahmanishtaha
Hitva Sarvakarmani Kevale Advaye Brahmani Nishtha Yasya Soyam Brahmanishtaha
Japanishthas Taponishtaha iti yadvat.
Japanishthas Taponishtaha iti yadvat.
Iti yadvat. So he is giving some comparative words. Brahmanishtha is somewhat similar to Japanishtha, Taponishtha. Japanishtha means one who is firmly in that say vratam, one who is firmly in that particular what can we say, japa. In that japa means he is doing japa, he is not deviating from that. Taponishtha, he is firmly in that and he is not deviating from that tapa. His whole attention is on that. So that is the point. Then Shastrajñopi, this we have read. Samitpanihi. What is Samitpanihi? Samit we know. Samit means, so for all these yajnas, you require a lot of samidha. All this a particular type of firewood is needed. From a particular tree only it has to be secured. And then various other grass, kusha grass, etc. they are also needed. So all these things, they become samidhas. So Samitpanihi means, in olden days, money was, the Guru had nothing to do with the money. Guru had all these, Guru, he was in need of various other things. Moreover, it also shows that the Guru also is not a greedy man. Guru, he is not asking for gold and things like that. He is satisfied with this Samit. Guru, the overall implication is the Guru is also not a greedy fellow who wants more money, etc. Suppose he says, you have to take a lot of money, and then he can engage some servants and then procure, say, firewood, etc. It's not like that. The student himself, he should be assisting the Guru in his yajna, he should be assisting Guru in his daily activities. Daily activities. Yajna means he may not be doing yajna as a kamya karma, but he will be doing his Nityagnihotram. For this Nityagnihotram, which is compulsory. Nityagnihotra is compulsory. For that Nityagnihotra again, you need some firewood, etc. So such things. Which means that the teacher is not a greedy person. The teacher is just happy with some physical assistance which the student is going to give. Samit Panihi, Samit Bhara Gruhita Hastaha. Samit Bhara Gruhita. So with all that load of faggots in his hand, faggot, okay, faggot is another word. With that load of faggots in his hand, Samit Bhara, Bhara means that load. Gruhita Hastaha. Then Shrotriyam, he is explaining that word. Adhyayana Shrutartha Sampannam. So he has studied well. Shrutartha, that is Shruteha Artham. That is the meaning of the Shruti, he has studied well. Then Brahmanistha, he is explaining the word Brahmanistha. Hitva Sarva Karmani, having abandoned all other words, all other works, all other karma. He is not doing any kamya karma. Then Kevale Advaye Brahmani Nishtha Yasya Soyam Brahmanistha. So that his nishtha, his devotion, his whole attention, nishtha is ni plus stha becomes a nishtha. Nihi plus stha becomes a nishtha. That a thakara becomes a thakara. That is nishchayena avasthanam. That is, he is there only and he doesn't move at all. Nishtha is nihi plus stha becomes nishtha. Nishchayena avasthanam. That is, he is there in that only. So that is his attention, his whole focus, let us say. He is in that only. Advaye Brahmani Nishtha. So his whole focus, his whole all attention is on Advaya Brahma. That non-dual, say that Brahma. So that man is called Brahmanishtaha, as in the case of Japanishtha, Taponishtha, etc. Nahi karmino Brahmanishtata sambhavati. Nahi karmino Brahmanishtata sambhavati. Karma atmajnanayor virodhat. Karma atmajnanayor virodhat. Satam gurum vidhivad upasannaha. Satam gurum vidhivad upasannaha. Prasadya pruched aksharam purusham satyam. Prasadya pruched aksharam purusham satyam. Okay. So that is the last line. Tad vijnanartham sa gurumeva adhigachet samit panihi shrotriyam brahmanishtham. So that last line. Then nahi karminaha brahmanishtata sambhavati. So suppose a person is engaged in karma. A person who is engaged in a karma is called karmi. Karminaha is shashti ekvachanam. Nahi karminaha, for a person who is engaged in karma, brahmanishtata na sambhavati. Brahmanishtata and nishtha are one and the same. This brahmanishtata, to be firmly focused on Brahma, to be firmly focused with the whole attention on Brahma, it cannot happen. Because he is engaged in karma, some other karma, he is engaged in some other goal. When he is having some other lower goal, how can he bother about a higher goal? Sambhavati, karma atmajnanayoho virodhat. Because this karma and atmajnana, they are contradicting. Karma and atmajnana are contradicting. Then sa tam gurum, so that gentleman who has become a nirvinna, that is a detached person, tam gurum, that type of gurum, vidhivad upasannaha, as per procedure he has to go. Vidhivad upasannaha, prasadya means having pleased him. Prasadam, you know, prasada means prakarshena sidati iti prasadaha, isn't it? Having a peaceful mind, that is prasada. Prasada chittam, chitta prasadam, you know, the tranquility of mind is called chitta prasadam. So prasadya means, so he should also please the teacher. He should not go with all arrogance and he should not irritate the teacher. The teacher should also be in a proper mood, good mood. He should keep the teacher in a good mood, let us say. Then pruched aksharam purusham satyam. He has to then ask for that aksharam purusham. What is this akshara? What is this akshara thing? That is in that imperishable thing, which is the only satyam, that is the only thing which is the true thing. What is that one reality? So he should ask. So in this particular mantra, this sadhana chatushtaya is mentioned. So this notes gives a good say explanation. Prashanta chittaya shamanvitaya. इत्यनेन साधनचतुष्टयं सूचितं. That is, you see, prashantachittaya shamanvitaya. There we see the next line. The next shloka is telling about prashantachittaya shamanvitaya. That is the student who is having that prashanta chitta, and shamanvita, one who is endowed with shama. So that's sadhana chatushtaya. And where is this sadhana chatushtaya? Sadhana chatushtaya is shown in the mantra which we just completed. Then parikshya lokan karmachitan. Then parikshya lokan. What is that pariksha? Nitya anitya vastu viveka. That is the discrimination, discriminating the right from the wrong. Then nirveda mayat. That is vairagyam. Nirveda is detachment, is vairagyam. That is sadhana chatushtaya is nitya anitya vastu viveka. Iha matra phalabhoga viraga. Then prashanta chittaya ityanena shamadhi shatkam. So the next mantra is talking about prashanta chitta. That is shama, dhamma, etc. That shatkam. Then tad vijnanartham. What we have seen in the earlier, this present mantra. Tad vijnanartham. Sa gurumeva abhigachet. The mantra which we completed just now. Tad vijnanartham. In order to know that, which means he is having that mumutshutvam, desire for liberation. So this sadhana chatushtayam is shown in these two mantras. So let us read the next mantra. Tasmai sa vidvanupasannaya samyak.
Tasmai sa vidvanupasannaya samyak.
Prashanta chittaya shamanvitaya.
Prashanta chittaya shamanvitaya.
Yenaksharam purusha veda satyam.
Yenaksharam purusham veda satyam.
Provachatam tattvato brahma vidyam.
Provachatam tattvato brahma vidyam.
So tasmai means to him. So now we are also again coming to the qualities of a student. Earlier we have seen the qualities of a teacher. Now what are the requisites for a student also we are seeing. Tasmai, to that person. To that person means to that person who has approached the teacher. And what is the nature of that person? Tasmai, sa vidwan. Sa vidwan means that teacher. Now we are referring to the teacher here, not to the student. Sa vidwan. Upasannaya. Upasannaya means tasmai upasannaya. To that man who has come to you, to that man who has approached you. So then samyak, upasannaya samyak. Samyak means in a proper way, in a proper procedure. He has filled in the application in a proper way. No defects in his application. Then samyak, this upasannaya samyak. That is samyak upasannaya, a person who has approached in the due manner, in the prescribed manner. Then prashanta chittaya, to that person who has attained the tranquility of mind, prashanta chittaya. Then shamanvitaya, he is also he is shama, he is endowed with a shama, that is control of senses. He is having that indriya nigraha. To such a person, then come to the last line. Provachatam tattvato brahma vidyam. Tam brahma vidyam tattvataha provacha. Tam brahma vidyam Tattvataha provacha. He has to, provacha actually means he told, uvacha. But then here provacha is, it has to be taken in the present tense. He has to tell in that sense. So the teacher has to say Brahma Vidyam Tattvataha. Tattvataha means as it is. The real nature of that Brahma Vidya. The real nature as it is. He has to be told. Provacha means he has to teach. Then what is the thing? What is the meaning of this Brahma Vidya? Yena Aksharam Purusham Veda Satyam. By which, Yena means by which, the student can know Aksharam Purusham Veda. Aksharam Purusham Satyam. This Akshara, this imperishable, that Purusha, Purishayanat, that is the immanent, that thing which is immanent in all beings. Then again Satyam, that one thing which is real. Veda, Veda means which he can know. So the Brahma Vidya, by which the student can know this Aksharam Purusham Veda, the teacher has to tell that student who has come to him in a proper manner, in a due manner. Let us see the Bhashyam. Tasmai sa vidwan Guruhu Brahmavit Upasannaya Upagataya Samyag Yatha Shastram Ityetat. Okay, Tasmai means Chaturthi. The first, to such a person. Sa Vidwan. Who is that Vidwan? Guruhu Brahmavid. He is referring to that Guru. Who is a Brahmavid? Then Upasannaya means Upagataya. For the person who has come to him. Then Samyak Yatha Shastram Ityetat. Yatha Shastram means as prescribed in the Shastram. As that is Ityetat. Then Prashanta Chittaya
Prashanta-chittaya
Uparata Darpadi Doshaya.
Uparata-darpadi doshaya.
Okay, he is giving another qualification for this Prashanta Chittaya. Normally Prashanta, that is when does a mind become tranquil? Prashanta, Prakarshena Shanta, Pra plus Shanta. How? That is, it can happen only when it is devoid of defects like arrogance, pride, that egoism and likes, dislikes and all these things have to be washed off from the mind. Only then the mind will be tranquil. So, Prashanta Chittaya means Uparata Darpadi Doshaya. Darpa, you know Darpa?
Yeah.
Darpa is pride, arrogance. Uparata, that is all that the mind has withdrawn from all those things. Uparati means withdrawal. Uparata Darpadi Doshaya. For the person who has withdrawn from all these defects such as Darpa. Then Shamanvitaya, one who is endowed with Shama, he has attained that Shama. Bahyendriya Uparamena cha Yuktaya. Sama Uparamena cha Yuktaya. Sarvato Viraktaya Ityetat.
Sarvato viraktaya ityetat.
So Shamanvitaya, that is, even that Bahyendriya Uparam is there, Antarindriya Nigraham is there. Then Sarvataha Viraktaya. In all manners, he is Virakta. In all manners, he is somebody who is detached, who has attained the dispassion. Then Yena Vijnanena
Yena vijnanena
Yaya Vidyaya Paraya
yaya vidyaya paraya
Aksharam Adreshyadi Visheshanam Tadeva Aksharam
aksharam adriyeshyadi visheshanam tadeva aksharam
Purusha Shabdavachyam
purusha shabdavachyam
Purnatvat Purishayanachya
पूर्णत्वात् पुरुषयनाच्च
Satyam
सत्यं
Tadeva Paramartha Swabhavyat
तदेव परमार्थ स्वाभाव्यात्
Aksharam cha
अव्ययम् अक्षरं च
Swabhava, okay, Swabhava Avyayad, okay, Swabhava, no, my book doesn't say that, Swabhavyad, okay, it doesn't matter, Avyayam Aksharam cha, that also can be there, Avyayam Aksharam cha, Aksharanat,
अक्षरण
Akshatatvad Akshayatvad cha.
अक्षतत्वात् अक्षयत्वात् च.
Okay, we'll stop here. Then Yena Vijnanena, by which knowledge? Knowledge means by which, by understanding which, by realizing which. Vijnana means realization. By realizing which, Yaya Vidyaya Paraya, by that Paravidya, by which Paravidya, what will he know? Aksharam, Adreshyam, Adreshya, we have seen this line, Yattadadreshyam Agrahyam, Ajakshushrottram, we have seen all that. That we are referring to here. Adreshyam means something which is not Drushyam. All Drushyam is something which is limited, confined, isn't it? Anything which is Drushyam is something which is limited. Adreshyam is something which is infinite. Yattad Adreshyam Ityadi Visheshanam, that which has been earlier qualified as Adreshyam, etc., etc. Tadeva Aksharam, that is that imperishable thing. Then Purusha Shabda Vachyam, that which is called Purusha. Then for that Purusha there are two meanings. That is Purnatvat Purusha. That is something which is complete. That is complete means beyond it there is nothing. Purnam, Purnamada, Purnamidam is that Purnam is that. That is something which is infinite, beyond that there is nothing. So Purnatvat, because it is Purnam, it is called Purusha. Or another meaning is Purishete iti Purushaha. Purishayanat cha. That is immanent in all things. It is immanent, it is there in all things. That is, we all derive our essence. The so-called essence in us is nothing but that Brahman. So Shayanacha. Then Satyam. Tadeva Paramartha Swabhavyat. That is Satyam. That is the only thing which is real. Tadeva Paramartha Swabhavyat. That is the only level of reality. That is the absolute reality. All other things which we call real are relatively real but not absolutely real. Paramartha Swabhavyat. Your book says Avyaya also. Doesn't matter, one more word. Aksharam. Then Aksharanat, because it does not it does not perish. Akshatatvacha, it is not hurt. Akshata is different from Akshara. Akshara means something which does not perish. Akshata means something which can never be attacked. It can never be hurt because it is something which is infinite. You can't take a sword and then keep on wielding it in the sky or in the space. It is not going to hurt the infinity. So Akshatatvat, Akshayatvacha. Then that one, Veda Vijanati
वेद विजानाति
Tam Brahma Vidyam
तां ब्रह्मविद्यां
Tatvato Yathavat
तत्त्वतो यथावत्
Provacha Prabruyad Ityarthaha.
प्रोवाच प्रब्रूयात् इत्यर्थः.
Okay, so this type of Aksharam Brahma Yena Vijanati, that Yena Veda Vijanati connects to Yena Vijnanena. Yena Vijnanena Tam Aksharam Purusham Veda. That is the connection. Yena Vijnanena Tam Aksharam Purusham Veda. Means the teacher has to teach him that Brahma Vidya, by knowing which he knows the Akshara Brahma. By knowing which he knows the Akshara Brahma. Yena Vijnanena means by the knowledge of which this person, the student, Veda Vijanati, the student will know that thing he has to teach. Then Tam Brahma Vidyam, such type of Brahma Vidya he has to teach. Tatvataha Yathavat. Tatvataha means as it is. Yathavat, as it is. Provacha means Prabruyat. He has to say. The teacher has to say. The teacher also has got a responsibility to say help a sincere student. So that line also is somewhere here. You see, Brahmanisthayam Gotasthena Avastha Aksharaditaksharam. Okay, that yeah, the Shankaracharya Bhashyam itself it is there. Yathavat Provacha Prabruyat. He has to say. Then Shankaracharya is concluding by saying, Acharyasyaapyayam niyamaha.
आचार्यस्यापि अयमेव नियमः.
Okay, ayameva niyamaha. Yat Nyayaprapta Satshishya Nistaranam
यत् न्यायप्राप्त सच्चिष्य निस्तारणम्
Avidya Mahodadhehe.
अविद्या महोदधेः.
Avidya is something like a Maha Udadhi. Udadhi means an ocean. Udadhi is an ocean. Mahodadhi means great ocean. This Avidya Mahodadhi is Avidya is a great ocean. Avidya Mahodadhehe means from that Avidya, from that ocean called Brahma Vidya, Panchami Vibhakti. From that ocean called Brahma Vidya, you have to rescue. So the teacher has to do this rescue operation. So the teacher has to rescue a student. What type of student? A good student. Acharyasyapi ayam niyamaha. This is also a rule for the Acharya. It is also a rule or a mandate for the Acharya. What is that? Yat that Nyaya Prapta Satshishya Nistaranam. Nyaya Prapta. That is somebody who has come in a proper way. Nyaya Prapta. Nyaya means the proper manner. Nyaya Prapta. Somebody who has come in a proper manner. Satshishya. He is a good student. Satshishya. Nistaranam. Nistaranam means to uplift, to rescue him. Nistaranam. To make him cross. Taranam, you know.
Yeah.
Taranam means to swim.
Crossover.
To cross over or swim. Literally speaking, Tarana means Tairna. In Hindi we call it Tairna. That is swimming. Taranam is swimming. Taranam means to make somebody swim. Nistaranam. Nischayana. So he has to definitely make him cross. So even if he is drowning, the teacher has to take him away, pull him and then drag him out and then make him cross. So that is Nistaranam. So Satshishya Nistaranam. To rescue a student from drowning in that ocean of samsara is the duty of the Guru. So that is Nistaranam. So now we have completed this Mundakopanishad Bhashya. Prathama Mundakam Samaptam. Maybe we will stop here and then we will continue in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti